am so fired up, I can't even tell you. I have had a great morning. I am almost done 75 hard, and I'm feeling really good about that. I am glad that my hair is curled after my workout this morning. Come on, ladies, give me some love on this. You know what I'm talking about. Usually it's like up in a ponytail because it's all wet, and I'm just having a good day. Who else out there is having a good day? Put me. Who else is having a good day out there? Put me, okay? So I'm over here working $1 million plans. I love it, right? Like so good. Okay, so I'm gonna drive now. I'm gonna drive in, I'm gonna dive in. I'm gonna start pulling apart the pieces that need to come off you today. Who's ready to shake the dog today? Do you know what that means? Shake the dog means that you're shaking off everything that you don't need, right? You're shaking off everything that you don't need. Who's ready to shake the dog, right? Who's ready for that today? I hope you're ready for that, because I'm going to be your coach today. I'm not going to be your friend. Some of you guys know what that means, right? Have you guys heard my saying, I mean it with love? Have any of you guys heard me say that yet? I mean this with love. Okay, my husband says that's my version of an F you, because I'm going in. Right? And so he's like, whenever I say that and people don't know, I'm like, hey, I mean this with love, bud. Or, hey, I say something, I say, with love. And my husband's like, you have no idea what that means. That's like, she's going in for the jugular. So I'm going in for it, and I'm going to start with this. There are deals in your ecosystem that are trying to come together right now, and they're not coming together because you're not driving them. Okay, so you guys have been focusing on these on-demand shows that we do. You know, or at least you're starting to pick up, that multitasking is highly ineffective. I've been pushing on this for a few weeks now because I can teach something and then it just goes, you know, have you ever been in a situation where you've heard something a million times? You've heard a mentor, a spouse, a friend, just say something like over and over and over again. Then all of a sudden you're like, I got it. Right? So the reason why I keep pushing on productivity is because if the structure isn't underneath your goals, your plane, your whatever you're working on, if the structure isn't underneath it, it falls apart. So I'm very clear. I have tested it inside my own company. I've tested with my entrepreneurs that multitasking does not work. And so Dan Sullivan calls something, he calls it the time effort economy. If you guys have ever read any of his books, a lot of people will miss that because it doesn't feel like it rocks your world, because productivity doesn't feel like it rocks your world, but it does. So time effort means, how many of you guys are working on something right now? Put work. How many of you guys are working on something right now? Put the word work. Be honest, like be in this with me, because this can be so experiential that chains break forever. Okay, so you guys who are working on something, I'm going to tell you that even like when you're writing the word work, working on something is the time effort economy based on Dan Sullivan. So I've read a couple of his books recently. I used to coach with him years ago. So, you know, whatever you consume starts to expand out, right? And so this is the power of, are you consuming the right things right now? Okay, like, are you consuming the right things right now? So time effort means I'm working on something. I'll give you a great example. My real estate agent calls me yesterday and says, I think we're getting a deal, right, on a property that we own in Utah. And he goes, I think we're getting a deal. And I was like, great. So that was yesterday. I followed up this morning. I said, hey, did we get an offer? And he said, I think they're going to lowball us. I was like, just give me the offer. So I want everybody to write this right now. There is always a way. There is always, I want you to write this on a freaking piece of paper right now. There is always a way to work it out. So my agent's like feeling bad for me, like, Shanda, like, you know, it's gonna be a low ball. I was like, just bring me the offer. Just bring the offer. I just want to see the offer because there's a way. So we know it's going to be probably seller finance, which means Ash and I are going to seller finance it. I love that. How many guys were on when I had my friend Chris Nagel on? We're talking about being the bank, right? Being the bank. Hello, you guys, right? Like, you can sell your cars, seller finance right now. You can take your Toyota, your truck, your Mercedes, your Ferrari, Lamborghini, whatever, right? Like, you can take whatever you want, or you can sell it retail and pay a shitload of taxes, or you can sell it seller finance and become the bank, right? And so I share this with you. I'm not going to go through math on this right now, But I said, I've got a number. I want to make $1 million on a piece of land. So if they lowball me, for sake of math, I was showing this to our team today. If they lowball me and say, I'll give you $700,000 on seller finance, I'm like, great. Give me 400 or 500,000 cash now. And I'll add an interest rate, whatever it is, 3%, 5%, 6%, over, let's say 2 years. And I'm going to shore up the difference probably to get more like 1.2 million. So I'll actually make more because I'm willing to be the bank. Guys, the bank gives you an interest rate and you pay it. Do the math, right? It's the cost of money. And so my agent is like, oh my God, we're going to get a low ball offer. I'm like, let me figure it out. I don't care if they make this offer 500,000. Great. I will figure out a way of doing interest. I'll give you 500,000 in interest. But there's a way to make it work. Okay, and I'm telling you guys this because it's no different than, okay, say you reach out to me and you want to coach with me. You're like, I got to ask my spouse. How many of you guys have a business what is the objection you guys get? Is it time? Is it money? Like you'll have one that you always get, right? Like, is it time? Is it money? Right? Like I have some clients that it's like everybody has to check with their spouse, right? Everybody has to check with their spouse, right? It's like a common thing. That's self-trust, right? So it doesn't mean I check with my spouse, but I don't really check with Ash. I go to Ash and I run things by him when I'm uncertain. And so that's checking with Ash. I'm running it by him because I'm uncertain. When a human being is certain, they go to their spouse or their girlfriend or their boyfriend or whatever, and they say, I have to do this, and here's why. But when you're uncertain, you go and you ask for permission. That's human nature. I do it, everybody does it. It's like, can you just like validate my thoughts here that this is a good idea? Or is it okay if I spend some money? That's very different than I'm hooking up our family and we're gonna, like, we gotta invest in this piece of land, or we gotta, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very, very different mentality. And it doesn't matter if you've won in life or lost in life or a mix of both. When we are certain, we grab a hold of things and we drive it. Do you guys get that? So I believe that we have a driving problem. And I see it all the time. And the reason why I see it is because entrepreneurs are feeling bad about the fact that things are not moving fast enough. So if things are not moving fast enough, we have a drive problem. Okay? And the caveat to this often is, I'd say vision or perspective, right? Your view. The view in which you stand, you can only see so much. And if you lack in faith, and this is not about me godding you, I'm not going into a deep God thing, although I love them. This is a faith scenario, which comes down to trust. And so if you have an attitude that feels worried or depressed or frustrated, I'm going to tell you that the faith has been rocked and your self-trust or trust in other people has been rocked. Okay, so as we're moving to the next level in hardcore business, I said to Teresa, hey, listen, I love the way I'm running this company right now. I am very, very proud of my work as a CEO. That was one of my targets. And I can see some areas that I've got some trust issues. And so instead of pretending to posture, I say to her the other day, I said, hey, I know I had to go double check this with a big deal we're doing, but I said, I think what I'm seeing is that I've got some trust issues on some of these areas. So I know I'm going to work through that. But in order for me to work through that, I need more visuals. I need to be statused more often on where these contracts are at. And if you status me, then, and why? I'll tell you why. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about the drive, and the drive slows down the speed. And I see it in our client base. I see it in hardcore. I see it everywhere. The reason why people think I'm intense, I'm unreasonable, I'm this, I'm that, is because I am. So I'll give a great example. We have another deal. We have a couple deals going on right now, and I'm told this could take months to come together. I said, there's no reason for it to take months. I know what I want. They know what they want. All we need is X, Y, Z. Get me on the phone with our attorney. Well, no, get me on the phone with my attorney. What am I doing? I'm driving. What they're doing is organizing. What they're doing is their viewpoint is this could take a few months to put together. No. It's not going to take a few months. The land's going to sell, or at least, and I'm going to go back to the land for a second. The land's going to sell. This deal's going to happen because there's a way to make it happen. And the slower we contemplate or put our ducks in a row, we could be having meetings now. And if we have to throw it out or it takes longer, that's fine. Let's have a meeting on these deals right now. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to wait till next week to start working these things. Let me go back to the land. On the land that my agent, and I promise I'll back into you, on the land, are you guys starting to see where you could be driving? You could be a little bit more unreasonable with some of the people around you. It's called closed loops. And if you don't drive like this, what happens is everything takes too long because tension is what makes things work. Right? So I love to seller finance my land because I'm going to be the bank. But what am I going to do when I get the money? I'm going to invest the freaking money. So why not invest it right now here where it is? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to invest the money somewhere else and roll the dice again. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm fine to do the deal here and hook up a buyer. So now you know what I'm talking about with the pricing structure and interest. But by the way, I don't have to pay any capital gains. I do stateside because this is in Utah, but I don't have to pay it if I seller finance. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's on small increment amounts and it changes my capital gains tax. Tax is an important thing to understand. And I'm telling you, your CPA does not understand it. And I know if there's a CPA on here, you can please work with me here. There's tax attorneys that know the tax game at a very, very different level. Like buying something in an LLC and selling the house, selling the company with the house in it versus selling the house. Cost you $900, $700, or $1,700 to put a house in an LLC and call it a retreat center or call it a whatever and sell. That deal happens here all the time. We bought Utah in a company. It's a company. It's a company that owns an asset. We don't sell the house, we sell, or the land, we sell the company. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, this is a big deal. The more we get educated, the more, this is why the rich get richer, and the viewpoint of and I say middle class not to be disrespectful, but it ain't no place to live. It is no place to live in that area. You've got to think in this drive mentality. And people will think you're unreasonable, and that's okay because they'll turn around and tell you you're smart. Okay, they'll turn around and tell you you're smart. So there was something I wanted to tell you about Utah for a sec. This. By the way, I love my agent. He's amazing. But so he says, I said, what's going on with the deal? He goes, well, the buyer is going to meet on a Zoom call with a builder. The buyer's agents have a builder that they're going to meet because it's land and they want to build on. I go, why would you do that? We have already spent like so many thousands of dollars building the most epic dream home. I can't remember what the parade's called. Any of you guys know in Utah, like the house, it's like the show home parade that they do every year in Utah. They want to put our house in it, right? So we designed like a home that is just, it's a parade-worthy house. Yeah, parade of houses, a parade of homes. That's right, Esteban. The parade of homes, right? So this home is epic. It's got a pickleball court in the middle. I'm telling the agent this on a call this way. I'm like, you need to tell them that we've already spent thousands of dollars developing a home that literally is in the parade of homes. They want it in the parade of homes. It's so epic. 2 masters, outdoor patios with heat above, backs up against, the most epic forest with dog walking trails, full view of Deer Valley, ski mountain, a gondola right outside our house that goes up to the ski mountain. I'm like going, do I really want to sell this freaking place? It's amazing. Like, it is absolutely amazing. And I go, and you're letting them meet with a builder who hasn't done any of this work? No. There's always a way. He goes, well, let me see if I can get them out with our bill. I'm like, you're not doing me a favor. You're doing the buyer a favor. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like they're doing the buyer a favor to get on a call, look at the 3D images. I mean, we went balls to the wall and created something epic, right? It's like, if you were the buyer, you would feel like, oh my gosh, they have already done all the hard work. All I have to do is go through this place and go, is there anything I don't like that I want them to tweak? And then just finish it off and you're done. You're in permitting stage. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So not only is that a huge value, if they don't like it, they can throw it out and go back to the other agent's builder who's done no work on the property. Right? And so he says to me, well, let's see if I can do it. I was like, no. If you can't do it, you put me on the phone with the buyer's agent. Because there is always a way, and I want to hook up this buyer because it's something I would want. Wouldn't you guys want that if you're buying a piece of land? Wouldn't you want all that work done so you can look at this absolutely epic home and start imagining your family in it? Like, I'm like in my closet I mean, it's the most epic closet. I got an infrared sauna that has a window out to the forest and the mountains. Like, I'm not sure I actually want to sell this place because I've already resold myself on it. Okay, for real, right? And so, but I'm willing to walk out the deal and see, but it's just such a mismanagement of drive, not heart, but drive, because what most of us are doing is seeing if it comes together. Seeing if the Bring a Friend contest comes together for me. Seeing if my monthly goals come together for me. Seeing if the retreat I put up come together for me. Seeing if my investment in my mentor is going to come together for, what are they going to do for me? Right? Like, instead of driving and saying, that's what I want to win that contest. I want to sell that land. I want it. Like, I'm like, you guys, so here's what I'm going to leave you with it today. I'm going to say that when you look at what you're creating, you need to have the mentality that there is a way. So if you come to me and you want a coach, how many of you guys want a business coach, right? So obviously there's a bunch of you guys who have business coaches with me, but who wants a business coach, right? Put a B. Okay, now follow me when I say this, okay? Look in the chat. How many people want a business coach? Put a B, okay? Just put a B and everybody look at the chat. I'm not gonna come chase you, just put a B, okay? And so now look at that. Now, I said this, I think I said this yesterday, day before. If I made an offer right now, there would be a small percentage that would buy and a big percentage that would sleep on it because they're fucking lacking drive. I know I shouldn't swear, but it drives me insane. They're lacking drive. And then they wonder why things are not coming together. I'm like, listen, everywhere in your life, if you don't drive to a result, if you work on things, you will be working for the rest of your life. You do not get a badge of honor for working hard. You just don't. If you are a business owner, you are paid on results only. Nobody is coming and paying your bills. Nobody is giving you a twice a month paycheck. You are paid for a result. And a result only comes from driving. So if you and I are in a business deal, I am not going to say, hey, Karen, go think about it tonight. I'm going to say, Karen, what is missing for you to say yes to working together? What is it that you need to feel safe? What is it that you need out of a mastermind? What is it that you need out of a weight loss coach, a real estate agent? What is it that you need in your therapist to be able to prioritize this problem and moving it in your life? What do you need in a homeschool teacher? Would you guys get it? Like, you guys are allowing things to slip through your fingers because of a lack of drive. Because you're so busy working that you're working your life away, and the results are the only thing you get paid for. The results are in the moment of transformation that happen is only in a result. You don't complain that you don't get to spend time with your kids. You solved the problem. You solved the problem. I am so tired of us as a society allowing these low standards to our life because you're not getting your life back. You're not getting this day back. Every time you go to bed, every time you get up in the morning and you have no results on that board, you don't know what you're doing. You have a bunch of to-dos. To-do lists are working. You're working on something. What are you committed to creating? What is the result that you are saying, I will have this result on August 8th? I think that's the date. On August 8th, I will have this result today. Or are you going to walk through, work through, go through your life, and this day, in a month from now, you can't remember what you created? Wake up. Wake up. I can help you build businesses. There's so many guys sit on the fence and don't reach out to get coached. Right? Some of you guys can help people lose weight, heal relationships, build websites, like get into their dream homes. Real estate agents that don't understand seller finance are doing a disservice to their buyers and their sellers, because guess what? You get paid the same immediately in escrow. More real estate agents kill seller finance deals because they don't understand it. And they say things like, my seller would never take that. I'm like, you are so uneducated. And what's sad is the money world sits there and goes, don't work with an agent, don't work with an agent, don't work with an agent. So you guys are salespeople. You have to be. You're in business. And the question is are you killing the deals or are you driving them to completion? And you kill the deals when your viewpoint, your perspective gets rocked because you think somebody's a no, a not now, they don't have the money, they don't have the time, they don't have the spouse there or the business partner there, they don't have access to money. All of that's crap. The problem is that you haven't really identified. You have not identified and driven this thing where they feel safe with you. And so what happens is people delay, they hesitate, they hang out in the weeds. And if you're honest with yourself, some of you guys are doing that in areas of your life right now that are absolutely gonna guarantee that you won't remember what you did on August 8th, even a week from now. And so I wanted to encourage you today on this live is to say, stop waiting and start driving. I want you to start asking the questions like, what is it that's missing? What would it take for you to say yes? What would it take for you to say yes to go on a date? Well, I'm really not that interested. I was not interested in my husband. I was too skinny, too short, and he kind of had a shake because he was malnutritioned doing Ironmans. I felt like I could pick him up and carry him across the threshold because he was so lean. I was like, I don't want that in a boyfriend or a husband. And you know what my husband said to me? He said, I think you're my wife. I was like, oh no. I'm like, you're not my wife. There's another dude that I think's really cute. And that dude, like, we're starting to date. I'm like, like I want the other one to work out. And so I was never going to see Ash again. And Ash was really clear. He declared, I want some of you guys to declare a result right now. He declared I would be his wife. And it didn't matter what I said or what my delay was or what my hesitation was, or in his mind, he's like, she just doesn't see it yet. She doesn't see it yet. See, my real estate agent is like, they just don't see the value of meeting with our builder because I'm going to hook them up. I'm not going to let them suffer and go through a builder it's going to take months for them to figure out what to build. Not to mention a huge risk. It's already done. I'm not going to let them do that. They don't see it yet. Do you get what I'm saying? By the way, they don't even know that's an option. Some of that's your guys' problem. You don't even bring the options to the table because your standards are so low that you just accept a not now, or they're not there yet, or they're not walking across the line. Do you guys get it? So it's your energy matters. And if you're not fired up about hooking people up, then I'm telling you, you are heavy in some level of weight and you need to release it. Because the cost is you not remembering what you do today. The cost is you don't remember what you did yesterday. The cost is that you're not going to remember the rest of the weeks to Christmas. And you're probably going to repeat that next year again, unless we have an interruption right now. Are you guys hearing me? Yes, right? So my question is, what do you have to declare as a result at the end of the day? You are not going to ever find me go through one day of my life that I don't have a result on the books. I stopped that years ago. I have a result on the books every day. I'm not saying, look at me. I'm not saying I'm amazing. I still have a huge gap. And I hope I can never catch that gap. Do you know what I mean? Because it gives me something to live for. There's a new level of life. Do you know that I've realized every income bracket I go up, there is a new perspective. The world changes. Your houses change. Oh, I'm not motivated by that. Oh yeah? Well, yeah, I call bullshit on that. Because when you have a home that all your grandbabies can come to, or you have a home that all your kids' friends can come to, when your house is filled with laughter, when you have your dinner parties with all your friends there all the time, don't tell me that. That's self-centered. Don't do it for you. Do it for all the collections of memories of people that are going to congregate around your kitchen table because you have a spectacular one. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You don't cook. Start getting the vision of the chef. I have one that's going to cook for us on New Year's. Well, it's New Year's. There might not be any available. There's always one. There's always a way. There's always someone that would like to work on New Year's. And so I don't wait to the last minute. I don't wait to the last week of the month to hit my goals. I hit them. Do you know what my biggest challenge is actually giving ownership to other people to hit them, because people are urgent, they work hard, but they don't drive a result. And I see it everywhere. Unless I am on somebody and saying, what's the result you own today? Everybody defaults into the middle class thinking of, I'm just going to work. And then you know what? You'll have a self-fulfilling prophecy of a lot of people who completely disappoint you. It's the reason why you lose jobs. It's the reason why you lose clients. It's the reason why you lose income, is because you have not driven the result. And the sooner you get that, the quicker you just say, what if this was easier than you think? What if this was easier than you think? What if it was easier to have a result at the end of the day versus a big ass to-do list? Do you guys get what I'm saying? So I'm going to end on this. I'm going to move over to VIP. If you're watching this and you want to jump into the VIP with us, you can go to joinmeinvip.com. Joinmeinvip.com. Okay, so if you want to join, I'm going to go to a Zoom room in a second and we're going to start hot seating, right? You guys in the Zoom room, is this like the best on-demand mastermind you've ever seen, right? Like it is high value. Right? So I'm going to switch to these guys. So join me in VIP.com. You can go click on a link. Somebody can post it in the chats out there, and join me in VIP.com, and you can spend the month with us in a Zoom room after I go live. I'm going to end on this. I'm going to say, number one is doubt. Doubt can create a deepening of faith. Write this down and think about it later. Your self-doubt can create a deepening of faith. I already told you faith is connected with your ability to go all in on something. It's connected with speed. And when you don't have faith, you have trust broken somewhere. The flip to overcoming that is you must access courage. Be flexible with your failures. Be flexible with your failures. They're in the past anyway. But if you're flexible with your failures, you can flip and go, I know there's a way. That is my line constantly. I know there's a way. Oh, there's a recession, whatever. I know there's a way to succeed. Oh, it's impossible for you to like buy a home or sell a home on seller finance. What are you talking about? It makes a lot of sense. I know there's a way. Oh, it's impossible to buy an oceanfront home in California. Bullshit. I know there's a way. Right? When I didn't think I could buy the oceanfront home, I bought the oceanfront home. And I'm not saying, look at me. I am being as courageous as I'm asking you to be. But the only way that I do that is I drive a result every single day. Nobody, no boss I've ever worked for, no client that I've ever worked for, nobody has ever owned my results. I own them. I am responsible for my failures and my lack of follow through when I was sloppy. Messy is great. Messy is cool. Sloppy sucks. And I used to be sloppy. Every 3 days I'd fall off my drive, right? And that's sloppy. So be flexible with your failures. And the last thing is be relentless with time. Don't go to bed without your result. I had 2 of my employees that were up at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning and hit the results. They didn't go to bed until they hit the results. Now you might think that's intense, but you know what I think is intense? Living a life of not hitting your results and having no confidence. Because that touches every relationship that you have. Some of you guys are living in a depressed and heavy energy, and the people around you are tired of waking up to your energy like that. And it's time for you to get into contribution versus taking energy. Some of you guys are fired up and you're rocking it and you're raising everybody up, but it feels like a weight because you're always raising everybody up. And I'm going to say it's time for you to raise your standards and start having some conversations that are not blamey, but just saying, hey, this isn't working for me anymore. It's not working for you. It's time to shift, right? It's time to get help so that we can shift this in the household. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So when you look at this whole piece, what's the last thing that you're walking away with today? Go in the chat. Why go in the chat right now? What's the one thing you're walking away with today off this demand? And I hope this helped you. I really do. What's the one thing that you're walking away with from this training today? Tomorrow, we're going to have a great training on how your identity impacts your income. So make sure you're here tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow at 9 a.m. California time, how your identity impacts your income. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. So drive. Yes, be relentless with your drive. Your energy matters. Declare the drive and a result. Don't work on anything anymore. Get a result. Okay, I don't work on my book. I build 2 chapters. I don't work on, I'm gonna go to the gym work. I saw this guy sitting outside the gym the other day in his golf cart. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm thinking about going to the gym. I'm like, that's the worst thing you could ever do. Get out of your golf cart and go in the gym. You already got your running shoes on. Walk in the gym. He didn't walk in the gym. You know what he did? He ended up driving off 15 minutes later and never went in the gym. I also know what's happening with that person behind closed doors, and they're having some challenges. So what happens? Your energy starts to pull your results. That's why sometimes you see me do this, because I notice that my energy's low and I'm like, all right, Shanda, let's go, right? I do that because I can feel my energy going down. And the higher my energy is, the stronger the results created. Okay, because everything is energy. Working out, working your muscles, you're a battery. That's how you get energy, not more caffeine. Do you get what I'm saying? Like we have to get responsible here. So I'm going to end on this. I'm going to say, if you don't have a result declared today, I want you to put a result down today. This starts now. We're at the beginning of the month right now. If you're live on this training, if you're watching this at the end of the month, start now, right? But my point is that we can start today, because if you are starting to work out in January, you're already out. You know you won't follow through. If I wait till my birthday to then go on my diet or stop drinking alcohol because I'm going to drink on my birthday, I'm kidding myself. It's not that important to me. See, every time you choose comfort, every time you choose comfort, you give up freedom. And I'm going to tell you, so many of you guys, if you let this in today, this can be the live that completely changes the rest of your life. See, your friends, many of your friends, allow you to sit in your comfort zone. Get new friends or ask them to hold you higher. Because I'm going to tell you something. I didn't drink on my birthday. I didn't drink on my birthday because I have a vision, and I love my wine. But I have a vision that I'm working on right now. And part of that is being really sharp financially, really sharp thinking, really sharp with my energy. I'm going to tell you the results that I've gotten in the last 60 days are off the charts. And one of the things I declared was no alcohol. And I wasn't doing it so well, so I put a structure around it called 75 Hard. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't feel like doing it. And it ran right over my birthday. Not one hesitation. I've built that in me because I know that I am safer in commitment than I am in comfort. You are safer in commitment than you are in comfort. Some of you guys are waiting to hire that relationship course or coach. And I'm telling you, I'm like, you ain't getting any younger, right? You're not getting any younger. What are you doing? Right? Some of you guys are waiting to hire that marriage counselor. If you don't get your shit together, you're going to be out in the cold, right? Like, it's like that your spouse has been walking out the door disconnected and the devil's in their head. Right? Like, you need to get some deliverance here. You can't wait till it's comfortable for you to do it, till you have the money. You create it because you say at the end of the day, I'm going to have a result. And that result's going to be $2,000 to pay for that counselor. Where that result is going to be, I'm going to go look at all my credit cards and find points to get my airfare to Zone Event. Who's coming to Zone Event? If you're not coming to Zone Event, get your ticket to Zone Event. We are 50% sold out in the room. We just opened this puppy up like 7.5 weeks ago. Right? We are 50% sold out. TheZoneEvent.com. Do you guys get it? End of November, Austin, Texas. Let's go. Let's build out these marketing plans. Let's raise our standards. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Like, this is how I want you to live. I want you to be in, write this down, completion energy. Completion. I don't think to hire my relationship coach. I don't think, should I hire a coach? You know what I do? I keep getting a better one. I keep going, you know what? I want one that costs more. Right now I could work out with a sweet little girl here in Puerto Rico, super sweet. But you know what? She does not drive me like the other one. And one says, oh, sometimes you have some sleep challenges. Because I do. Sometimes I have sleep challenges. I go for months and then all of a sudden I have sleep challenges, right? I know hormones, this, whatever, right? Like, it's irrelevant what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I work on my health and I do my blood tests and I do all of that stuff. My hair test, my urine test, like I do it all. My epigenetic test, I do it all. Okay, but my point is that I still battle with these pieces. The cheaper trainer just was like, just show up to your workout. I'm like, with love, there's the FU, right? With love, I'm like, I need a stronger trainer. So I felt really bad, but I still walked through feeling bad. And I went and hired the one that, this incredibly beautiful, powerful Black woman. She walked by us. Before I hired her. And my husband's sitting next to me and he goes, that's the woman you should be working out with. No joke, you can't make this stuff up. A week later, we're at the pool and our friends, Kim and Tom, are with us. Same woman walks by and Tom says, that's the woman you should be working out. Notice something. Both Tom and Ash never knew how I felt about my first trainer. But notice both of them said the same thing. You should hire that girl. Why? Because she looked disciplined. Because she walked with confidence. Because she was her. She is absolutely ripped. She runs through this community. The other one's really sweet and was great for accountability. But I was like, yeah, I should run. I should go for a run. I'm gonna run from the gym back to my car. The other one is running relentlessly every day. Every muscle in her leg looks amazing. Every muscle in her arms. She has got high discipline. I have a challenge. She's like, here's how we solve it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because she's worked through that in her own life. That's why she can hold the container of my problems. I'm going to ask you and leave you right now with this thought. Are people safe with you? Behind closed doors, are you working through your challenges? Are you being results driven? You don't have to be perfect. You're human. Human moments happen. Lack of sleep happens. Fights happen. Disappointments happen. But how you walk through that says your character of who you are. You want a higher caliber person to buy from you? You want that? Then you got to be a higher caliber person behind closed doors. You know, it's not that hard to create the results that you want. The challenge is that your standards could be maybe a little too low and you're working too much. Versus looking at, if I blocked out 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day and I hit that one result every single day, I'm going to tell you, you got 5 results in the week. And if you have a really bad human moment, you have 4 results in the week. That's a lot of results in a month. I'm going to tell you, nobody will be able to squash you because you're going to walk about 2 feet taller than you are right now, because nobody will be able to squash that, because that's your character. Your character is to win. Your character is somebody that people want to be around. Your character shows up in a room before you do. People are watching you. Messy is okay. Do it messy. Sloppy sucks. I'll see you guys at the Zone event for the people who are coming, thezoneevent.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to talk about identity and income. All right, peace out, guys.